Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my study live stream. Today is 23 July 2022. Today is actually the day that which the semester ends. But I still need to find the good topic to Bachelorarbeit. I cannot find the right one. I feel like I cannot find the motion. I cannot find energy, that good energy to do that. So I still seeking this kind of good topic. What's new today is so today is a special day to remember, so to open this study live stream and company you guys who study or even you don't see my screen. Um, so I will think. So I will think. Yeah, I will think a little bit. And today I went out and watch a show, watch a game. Um, Watched a game, and now I want to start to read some articles, maybe do an analyze. I'm not sure. So, and also today is a special day that I ordered LM restaurant in Lieferando because since I moved here since I moved here already 1 year that I don't order this same restaurant. Today is a special day. I think maybe that I can try to reorder them and from LM restaurant. Um, yeah, because LM is a basic model in economic sense. So yeah, so I will consider. I will think about it. Yeah. And also today I went to the baby store and bought a couple of cashier, couple of 餐具. Okay. Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy with it. But I already promised to myself that till today I need finish 17 credit points. That is 5 credit points plus 12 credit points, but I cannot finish because I cannot start the Bachelorarbeit yet, and there are a lot of stuff and a lot of things to do during these 3 months, and also that we want to twice the main train station to film our interview with another 3 students, classmates, for the before course low budget video production. So in this sense, I think, but we already uploaded this video and I need check it later. But I think it will no problem and it will have no problem with it. So it means that I can ensure for 5 credit points for RB4 course. So in this sense, I am thinking. So in this sense, I am thinking, cool. This is a day that actually I finished my self promise. That's for something, yeah, because I have now extra 20 credit points in RB4 area, so I'm happy about it because in this sense I'm honest and in the area of to myself. So I will think, cool, today is day to remember. And also, is there something new? Maybe I will. I don't know if there is nothing new, but I must urgent read papers and prepare other stuff and other things. So yeah, so just let's start. Um, yeah, okay. Mm, Today, I think another two things that are very important that recently I want to recall them, to let me remember in later days. For example, like I have a new understanding of time collapse. It is not the art of one art of film production or video production, like you call it, like what collapse or film collapse or whatever. um, like in the video production that you have one function or you have one art to you have one art or one function to do a one art. It is means that you can save your Speicherplatz, save your memory card like seed, or in another format, and so on. So but I don't mean here the time lapse. I mean the 天呐，好吧I mean I have new understanding of time and dimension collapse, and it's not just lapse, it's collapse. So collapse with each other. It has happened 3 years ago in my life, like 2019, and now it's time 2022 is already 3 years after. So I'm very surprised because someone that fixed the dimension and into that time zone and reality zone in 2019, I think is you and so I just give them remembered mark and to remember this thing that happened last 2 weeks. I think 13th or 10th July and so on, two weeks ago. So it is very interesting because I can re-experience this, and I found something interesting, and recently I re-experienced this kind of feelings, this kind of time and space collapse. Um, and it is means that different person from different position of this world or different country in this world carry on the similar or same entities. For example, your name or your university or your beliefs or your strong beliefs or your favorite things or your whatever you want to call it, but the entities or the fixed belief in your mind, like this kind of entity and beliefs that collapse with each other, converge with each other. That's sometimes or somehow that you have the self recognition that you think something happened in your dream or in your subconsciousness that was you, but actually that's not, or that's relevant to you or linked to you and will influence you or influence in your reality, but that's actually not you. But in these things, you have choices to do, and you have choices to help them or destroy them. Um, in these things, there is some difference that if you choose I mean, in the definition of time lapse and time lapse with similar entity, inclusive me or inclusive maybe others, and I will think cool. You have two choices when this kind of minds come into your subconsciousness. That you help them or destroy them. If you help them, and you will lost your time in your reality, because those kind of dimension that can above you or can live under you, so live in underworld of you. So it has both possibilities. So if you help them, but they have the bright dimension or bright consciousness as you, bright mind as you, then they will take over your reality, and they will let you think that you are them, and they and your gravity of your reality will lifting back towards those person or those happening in another reality, but you have you and with them have the similar character or entities. So in this sense, if you help them, they have the bright consciousness, the gravity will turn to them instead of you. In that sense, your reality time was kind of lost, and your time will be driven. I mean, driven into those person that who compares to have the brighter consciousness or the brighter dream states that let you believe, or let your surroundings make you believe that they that they should have brighter consciousness as you. But other things, if they if you choose another one, or you have another choice, like destroy them, and then you have first a bad intention, and once you have bad intention, then that means, yeah, you can destroy them, because they cannot do anything in your reality or in their reality. Because if you know the information, if you know everything about this person, or you think you are actually better, or you are even worse, it doesn't matter. But if you know already the information, and you have the choice, you made a choice to destroy, then your reality will become brighter, and will become fulfilled, because it's in the time since that you win time uh, um, with your concurrents, with your partner. So in this sense, because you guys have the same identity, or same name, for example, or same characteristics, or same weak or same strongness, or same mind, whatever you want to call it, or you encounter before, and you encounter after 3 years, and this all kind of stuff, that means you if you destroy them, you win better time for your reality. If you help them, you lost your mind gravity towards those person that does not exist in your reality, but will influence your reality. So it is a hard choice, but for me, like I don't have the choice to choose whether I much energy, or I don't have so, for example, so to say, the so big energy, or so massive energy, that to choose whether I choose the enforcement or I choose the destroyment. So in this sense, it's very hard actually, um, because if actually weak compared to others, is maybe compared to not just one person, maybe many person, or many people. So in this sense, I will think, okay, so if I don't have the choose power, if I don't have the choice, I don't have right to choose, then my mind was automatically driven back towards the person that who are eventually have stronger mind as me, so that I cannot control of, or I cannot control. So in this sense, for example, last 3 years, if I can remember that I lost a lot of time in my reality, but I win a lot of my money. I don't call it money, but I mean, I win a lot of understanding through these 3 years. Um, I think always that I I start from a help intention or destroy intention. So in this sense, I will. So in this sense, I think things will turn good to me or turn good back to me. Or if they don't want to turn good back to me, it doesn't matter. Time will tell, right? So I don't worry about it. Um, so in this sense, yeah. But I only want to mention this kind of feeling of time collapse. So it is not just a coffee capsule machine. I mean that your consciousness and all mind consciousness was collapsed with someone that carry on the similar entity, but you are totally different and with each other. You don't have nothing to do with each other. You come from different reality, and you also don't bother each other. It doesn't matter. But you share the same identity or similar identity, and what can others do? Or in this sense, or in this case, um, in this case, what is really matters. But I found one thing is very fascinating, so very interesting. Um, it's like I have new understanding about time. For example, for me, like I already know for 4 or 5 3 years ago or 2 years ago 3 years ago. So I know that sometimes that, for example, you read some papers and you think, okay, this you have the first understanding of this paper. It means that you are really in this paper and you experience anything, and you experience the words with this paper. But if for example, like if I don't have time or energy or mind money, if you want to call it, so then when I read the paper, I don't really feel that I understand. Yeah, I read them a lot times, and I will not have uh, first-hand understanding, or I don't have the personally identification, or how to call it. The first I don't know how to call it. It is like you are in this paper and you feel everything what authors feel or think, but you are eventually not the author, and your thinking pattern or your thinking way is also not the author. And it is means the paper that was produced by author, that the author doesn't only present the self-interest, or the author doesn't only present the individual interest. So in this sense, it doesn't need that the understanding only generated from author, but only generated from author, but can also be when the paper published and the public understanding, like the understanding from others or from the whole society who define this paper. Also, there is some question that this paper doesn't need to be published, but while the author writing this paper, the writing process is already aggregated by many people's thoughts or thoughts and so on, because the author was also living our words and also as a human being. and um, while he or she, while author is writing, I think they do living as real. Even you can say, okay, I think something that I don't eat and I don't drink and I don't sleep, I live some life that beyond the normal range or normal limitation of a normal human life. Then it's quite quite well, and it's also a possibility because that is very sometimes will become very hard to understanding. But I mean, this paper doesn't need published, and the public publication was not the aim to write some paper. And the aim of writing a paper, I think, is to share your mind to others, and to share your ideas, intentions, the way of solving problems, and to others. I think that's the purpose, and the publication is kind of way in the academic world that to present, to some professional person, academic person, let them to recognize you. Otherwise, you don't have confidence by yourself, or you think that was not professionally confirmed, and so on. So upon this, that you will gain some academic jobs or you academic position, and you will have the feeling somehow aggregated and not just like um, some spot thoughts and so on. So in this sense, I think the paper, the publication of the paper was not the purpose, but the writing process and the mind was interact with others, and the others also interact back to you, or or if you say the writing process was a close process, that was totally closed, and there is no need to interact with society and with others. You only need to interact with someone that's professionally, like professor interact with professor, and they have the same level of knowledge. In this sense, it's also kind of way to explain, but more or less, I think, while the writing and the thoughts can be known by others, right? Cannot be totally closed. And while you're eating, or while even you're cooking at home, and you still need to go to supermarket and to interact again with interact with others and talk to others. So living in the normal life and so on. So in this sense, I think this kind of kind of writings includes many thoughts that the society which took a long time to generate it from. So I will yeah. So I will think reasonable to think like it is very possible to collapse your mind or my mind to others. Like for me, it is not annoyed because I think I know this person, but although we only encounter like very shortly, and uh, besides this kind of similar entity, it's very interesting because one thing I want to really be independent. I want to keep away from this kind of similar name or similar energy or similar kind of uh, aliveness, so experience and so on. But otherwise, the more you want to avoid those kind of similar or same person, the more they come into your life or come into your consciousness. So it is not avoidable. But why? The problem is why during the year 2017 and 2018, that the similar entity and collapse with each other, and now is already triple or four times more than the original one. And why I don't think, I think it's really something about the whole happening or whole world. It's not just some individual, like from the perspective of I to speak this whole thing, but I think more or less from the whole perspective, because I think 2017 I experienced very hard. I have a very hard experience uh, with my study, and so but I'm not the center of the world, right? So I'm not the center of the world. So I don't really think every action which I took, or every single thought which I sort of will have so huge impact or so huge influence of the world. I don't think I'm really are, but I mean I'm the entity, or I'm the person who carry on the average energy, or also average entity, at least in my world or in my reality. So in these things, this is massive energy. But why in 2017 that they have those kind of judgment comes from the higher round, and to say that we must give you a basement and so on and so forth. And then afterwards, in my reality and my surrounding, I started to encounter the person that have the similar entity or similar characteristic with me. Even sometimes this kind of collapse, like you will have a, a big age difference with like 10 years interval, like 10 years time interval, and that you will encounter with those kind of people. It is not because that your age and with this person really has a huge difference. Yeah, in our world, we really have some huge difference between others if we want to talk the ID card and so on and so forth. But I mean, why this kind of collapse happening? It is maybe because that, for example, those kind of people will never come into your life, will never show your life if you don't if the time lapse of this thing will not happen in this world or in this reality. But this happened means what? Means that you encounter someone that has a huge age difference with you, and but you share the same range of energy. Does that mean that I'm really not good that to run faster than those kind of person or energy, and to carry the energy towards forward? Or it is means that those kind of person have extreme talent, or extremely good energy, extremely smart, like to catch up me without considering 10 years time interval. I don't think I really I don't think either this perspective, but at least during this last 3 years, I already encounter like 3 or 4 person like collapse with my timeline, and we have the 10 years time interval. I think maybe I should ask my professor, but I think it's really interesting, and I think somehow I can understand. Okay, for example, like 2017, if I finish the BVL study in Berlin, my university, what's gonna happen? And I will never meet those kind of person that who carry on the similar entity, and we share the huge age differences and so on. So it is interesting and also important to know. But for me, I think it is thinkable. It is knowable, but it's not it doesn't matter for now, because now it's already like 11 o'clock something. So yeah, for example, like I experienced this time collapse. If you ask me whether that is good or not good for me, I will think from my professor's perspective. And once in the class he told us that okay, sorry, I forget. But once he told something, once he just said, um, he just said he just said something, and I think the during years efforts, I think I fully paid off um, for the things which I desire, and for the things which I pursue. Um, so um, so in this sense, if time collapsed and I driven back to those young person, this person who younger than me, um, that means that my double effort or even triple effort, that was that was good for me. But although it although it doesn't show in my reality yet, um, but I think yeah. Okay, cool. Then guys, is and also the second thing is that I feel recently my time was a little bit arranged. I mean, this arrangement of my time was in a good direction. Um, it means that I see very clean time. For example, like I don't know how to explain it, but for example, we see some time. I mean in number, the time in number. Sometimes that if I watch the time, I cannot remember very clearly what that is. But in this sense and in this time, recently, I think recent 1 week or 10 days or whatever, and the time becomes clean when I saw them. Um, I think I give some trust to the person, like maybe in professor level, but I'm not sure whether that they are in professor level or not in professor level. But I think they will do something good to me instead of to destroy me. Even we share the same characteristics or entity, and they have possibility or they have choices to destroy me or help me, because as I said at very beginning, because we share the similar because we share the similar identity or entity, so it is means it is means my energy or their energy let me driven me back to some reality. And so in this sense, their time could be faster or my time could be faster than them. So it means something that certainly happening in my reality or their reality will happen or not happen. And yeah, if they have the right to destroy or help me. But whatsoever, that's the thing which I want to say the second. The time become clean. The time number, and when I saw them, that become clean. I'm very happy about that, and very thankful that about this. Okay, cool. And one thing I want to show you guys that I is that today I went to store and I don't buy anything there. So I'm very I I don't know. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, finally I can read paper now. Okay. And also I want to say something that about. Okay, it doesn't matter. Mhm. Yeah, and I still want to say that for the first point, that's why when time and space collapse, and we have the feeling like someone we know before, or we very familiar with each other, or we somehow know anything or know something. Um, it is because the energy was too intense and to can driven mind into some higher ground and or some ground or some space that something or some person that I don't know how to explain it. It's very hard like for me to explain now, but yeah, okay. Now the more efforts that you put, yeah, okay, the effort means that the good energy which you invest your time and time, money, and energy into the things which you want to have. Those kinds of investment or those kind of invest means means that if you have the good return, then means if you have good return means that is effort. Otherwise, if you cannot have any good return of this whole thing, of this whole happening, then means that those kind of time will be wasted, not just like not just like have some effort or whatsoever. And actually, I want to so yeah, and you will find it's very hard to explain. Okay, I will stop to say something nonsense. Yeah. Um, I think I do have some questions or something to think of because I think it's not so clear. It's not so clear in my mind. Like example, like you put more effort into one thing, and then you can um, then you can perceive the emotion or the information or energy from very far beyond. For example, when we talk, it's more easier. Like if you dream about bright energy, it means that you put more effort in your reality as a person who exists in your dream state or in your subconsciousness. It is a good. It is good. Means that you put more effort as them. And but whether you get something from your reality upon this efforts, uh, it doesn't clear. It doesn't clear. It is matters. if we put same amount of effort and into our reality we have the same amount or same portion of rewards, be balanced, and then you don't feel any time, you don't feel that your time moves forward, you don't have the you don't have the white hair, or you don't grow actually, you don't grow actually, and your time like kind of stopped in some certain time point, and your reality, your surroundings was pushing you, or not pushing you, your surroundings or your reality move towards forward, and you feel time and their definition to you that ending years of your age, and you will feel like something that we can quantify time, like money, or like counting timer, or the money amounts or income amounts that you earned, or let you feel that you aggregated something in your life, or um, you saved something for your life. But if the things if your mind instantly, or if your mind was constantly balanced with your reality, it means your time was stopped, your reality goes on, but you cannot feel any time, right? You cannot feel any time, but your reality goes on, and your surrounding and your reality gives you a definition, like you become old, and upon the social definition, like our average understanding, like who doesn't know time, everyone saw time, everyone see time, and everyone can have access to time, because everyone at least have a watch, and doesn't everyone, but most of us have access to watch, and most of us have access to timer and to time and so on. So everyone has time, and everyone knows years, and everyone knows months, and months have different days, like 28 to 31, and everyone knows years, and every year we must celebrate birthday. It is kind of the definition, average understanding of our society, but it doesn't, but it's actually for individual level or for the common entity level, and that sometimes it is not like the social judgment if you do in your reality, but I mean, yeah, it's very complicated. But I think there will have some way. Yeah. Besides, I think the yeah, but I think this problem. Okay, I still have two packets to buy. So guys, I will offline now, and see you guys later maybe. Do this two-side expose. I hope next week. I really hope next week, but I'm not sure. I cannot promise anything. Yeah. So yeah. See you guys. See you guys.